Hi, everyone. We have some breaking news right now surrounding Decision 2020. I'm Kariba Devine along with Mark Curtis coming to you right now. It is obviously well after midnight, almost 1 a.m. to bring you the latest numbers here in Battleground, Arizona.
We were supposed to get these new results over an hour ago, around 11 o'clock, but a protest at election headquarters in Arizona delayed those votes. That involved about 100 to 150 Trump supporters who started gathering outside of the county elections office near 3rd Avenue and Lincoln in downtown Phoenix. At one point, some of them actually tried breaking into the building, but they were told by MCSO to leave. And here you can see that gathering. And a little while ago, Adrian Fontes and county elections officials actually sent out a thanks tonight to MCSO for keeping them safe so they could continue doing their job of counting all these votes.
Yeah, but since then, we have seen a huge number there of Maricopa County Sheriff's deputies out there just trying to keep the crowd away from the doors. U.S. Representative Paul Gosar was also there, and he addressed the crowd as well.
All right, we're also getting word, Caribe, that the crowd has dispersed now, so all is quiet down there. But this was the scene as of at least about an hour ago when the protest was at its height.
Yes.
Let's take a look at some of the numbers, because I know that if you're watching us right now, there are many of you that care about this. And the numbers have changed slightly since earlier this evening when we came on, when we first got the drop of votes. The president's trailing, but he's not trailing by as much to Joe Biden. 48% to 50%. This is in Arizona. And to put a finer point on it, at least in Maricopa County, we'll see more of these votes tomorrow, but 275,000 votes are remaining to be counted, plus provisionals. Joe Biden leads by about 68,000 statewide, but he has less breathing room right now than he had earlier this evening.
All right, let's look at some of the U.S. Senate numbers. These are fresh numbers coming in right now from Maricopa County. And it does show that Mark Kelly still has the lead right now on Martha McSally. He's at 52% of the vote, and Martha McSally there at 48%. So it looks like there may be just about, 200,000 or so votes there separating the two of them. 121,000.
And I will say that Mark Kelly's lead has also narrowed against Martha McSally. So it seems, as we look at these votes coming in, as we expected, that they are favoring Republicans, both President Trump and Martha McSally, as these late votes, the people who voted in person yesterday, start to come in and the counting begins, that we are seeing Republican candidates, both for the U.S. Senate and for the president, gaining some ground.
And we didn't see too many votes today, because this dump was about 60,000 votes. The other batch at 7 o'clock was about 70,000 votes. So there are still 275,000 ballots that are left to count.
We'll have the next vote dump will come tomorrow night at about 7 o'clock. And of course, we'll come on the air and bring you those details. Team 12's Michael Dowdna has been down in Tucson covering this Senate race. Want to go down there. Michael is staying up late with us. Michael, we appreciate it. And what's the scene like down in Tucson tonight? We know we had the protest here outside of election headquarters. Has it been fairly quiet in Tucson?
Yeah, it's been fairly quiet down here. I mean, all the eyes really are focused on Maricopa County because, like you mentioned, there's the 275,000 votes still left there. You know, earlier today we were talking about there being over 400,000 votes left in Maricopa County alone, and that's more votes than are left in the rest of the state combined. I think I talked to Mayor Romero down here, and they had about 60 or so thousand votes left here. So it's been pretty quiet as eyes are really watching those Maricopa returns come in, which right now, well, if they stay steady, well, they're hoping that's the path potentially to see victory for potentially President Trump and also Martha McSally. But they have to hold a very tight line there.
Tonight, you were talking about Mark Kelly's almost victory speech. Is he getting any pushback? I know from the McSally camp, they're not happy about it. But what about his supporters? Do they feel, have you talked to any of them, that that maybe he made this almost victory speech too soon?
I think obviously it's going to be a little bit more forgiving on the left than what we saw from Governor Ducey, of course, went on a Twitter, I don't want to call it a tirade, but had a pretty strong words on Twitter throughout the last evening and also early this morning about calling this race too early. But I even talked to Mayor Romero, and she says that she wants to not see any races called right now, whether it's in Arizona or elsewhere in the country, because she believes that there are still a lot of ballots out there. And like what we're seeing in Maricopa County, as there's more results coming in, you're seeing a lot of these races tighten, and you don't want to call a race too early. You don't want to give an acceptance speech too early and start talking about your plans in Washington, well, before you actually have won that seat there.
All right, Michael, thank you so much for some insight there on this latest round of ballots that have been counted here in Maricopa County. So once again, let's get to some of those new, fresh numbers coming in from the presidential race, and that is a look there. From Arizona, we have Biden at 50% of the vote. Right now, Biden is still ahead of President Donald Trump by 74,514 votes. So Biden gained about 25,000 votes there. And then the president gained a little bit more. Obviously, he's still behind, but he gained about 35,911 votes. And that puts him now at 48% of the vote.
I just wanted to mention, Caribe, that as we sit here tonight on a national basis, of course, it's a race to 270 electoral votes. Right now, Joe Biden has 253 to President Trump's 214. And the states still in play: Arizona, 11 electoral votes; Georgia, Nevada, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. All of those states very much in play. Will we see any of those states declared tomorrow? It'll all depend on the vote counting processes, but we're going to be on top of it. We're going to keep you informed throughout, not only what's happening in Arizona, but what's happening across the country as Americans wait to see who gets the keys to the White House for the next 4 years.
That's right. And if you can't catch us on the air, we have constant updates on digital. So if you haven't logged on to our Twitter accounts, our Instagram, our Facebook, our digital team is constantly updating there. And so you'll get the latest numbers there. And of course, our morning show will be starting here not too long from now at 4:30 in the morning. So our morning crew will have a full breakdown of everything that's going on, what these numbers mean for the presidential race. Of course, Arizona, a huge battleground state. And of course, also what's going on in the Senate race as well.
All right, that'll do it for us, for all of us from 12 News. Thanks for watching. We'll get you back to your normal programming, and we will see you bright and early back here tomorrow morning, well, actually this morning, at 4:30. Have a great night.